Let's be honest here. You know this will not be fun for me. And you know this was not fun to film. Yet you have this weird fascination, this oh my god, the fucking madman outlook on the whole ordeal. And honestly, so do I. I wanted to see what I was capable of.
I wanted to see if I was powerful enough to twist her mind.
I wish I could say this went smoothly. Just as expected, a little boring maybe, and repetitive, but quite easy when it came down to it. Unfortunately, I am very stupid, so I cannot say that. For this challenge, I used Brent, seeing as he's both a family sim and a man of absolutely no morals. The lack of morals comes in handy, since the nature of this challenge will be to abandon newborn puppies and kittens over and over again. First, we need him to have the lifetime want we are actually trying to fulfill. Otherwise, this would be a useless exercise. Then we need to build the most inhuman outdoor kennel you've ever seen. Funnily enough, this was my first time doing this, but there is a first time for everything. To be fair, the pets got everything they needed, even attention, until I got bored of taking care of them, and Brent began building snowmen over and over instead of checking in on the pets. Every good pet owner goes through the snowman phase at one point or another. I decided to begin with one female dog and one female cat, hoping to be able to get them both pregnant simultaneously. In doing so, I hope to get litters of more than one pet every single day, assuming I'd be able to get either of them to be expecting in an alternating pattern. My ambitions were as pure as they were stupid, and I quickly realized that when you have multiple pets pregnant in succession, you lose track of which is expecting and which isn't very fast. With pets, there is no visible clue. The game just plays a chime and you have to trust that everything is underway, which is hard to focus on when you're watching Call Me Kevin BitLife videos while recording. Still, I carried on with my plan, accepting my fate to look like a fool if I waited for a pet to give birth while it was never pregnant to begin with. Meet Oven and Incubator, my expecting mothers for the evening. They each got into their respective areas in the kennel and began chilling as Brent kept a keen eye out for a stray one of them could mate with. Quickly, Widget came bobbing about, stinking of testosterone and ready to bust one out for the cause. Unfortunately, it was at this moment that I realized Incubator was an elder dog, which would simply not do, so I had to age her down. Aging down a dog is an involved process, but in the name of science, I would do the impossible. Now that Incubator was an adult dog, Widget and his throbbing manhood could get this party started, and I will not apologize for saying that or for writing it down. With Incubator expecting her first litter, I now had to find a boy toy for Oven, and that would prove to be no easy feat. Actually, it was so difficult that I had to adopt the only male kitten that was available in the adoption pool and age him up to an adult cat. And the name of this beast? Fertilizer. I then began the cruel dance of adopting Widget, getting him to dishonor Incubator, sending him back to the pet adoption services, adopting Fertilizer, getting him to bust it down sexual style with Oven, and send him back to the adoption services. It was a revolving door of pet semen. I'm aware that this is probably the worst mental image I've ever given anyone, but I think it exemplifies pretty well how disgusting of a thing this really was. This is the most revolting thing I've done in my life, I think. I became not only the owner of a puppy mill, but I depended on it. Needed the puppy mill like I needed oxygen. I became jaded, watching the males come in and out of the household like soldiers off to war. Every time, thinking that I loved them, that I wanted them to be part of my family, that I cared for them. I watched it all go down passively, thinking to myself that this was way fucked up, but putting no end to it. I was in too deep. One thing that did not help was that I kept getting single pregnancies. This whole charade would have been over way earlier had I had more puppies and kittens at once. But something or someone wanted to see me go dark-sided. Eventually, some wolves visited my lot, and I began to create a harem for Incubator. She now had options, and she was using them. I began to feel like things weren't moving fast enough though, and a solution presented itself to me in the shape of heartthrob I thought that if I had 3 pets pregnant at once and sent the babies away to the adoption agency as soon as they were born, I could ensure many multiple pregnancies in a shorter amount of time. It was brilliant on paper, but once you have 2 pets pregnant with 3 more and you're trying to get another one pregnant, the game seems to start to judge you a little bit. Getting Heartthrob pregnant was a challenge at every turn. She would rock the house time after time and yet no chime. Her time would come though, because Incubator was getting old and would not be able to have puppies anymore pretty soon. So much time had gone by. Brent was becoming a recluse, reading in his ugly little home or crying by the window because his aspiration meter was so low. He did not seem to like what I was putting him through, the ungrateful ass. I'm doing this for you, I thought, because of this stupid lifetime want. Sims don't realize the implications of what they ask sometimes. If your ultimate life goal includes dog prostitution, I don't think your dreams are valid. Yet, Brent gave these babies away day after day, between building snowmen and reading books, expressing no remorse for it. His life was a quiet and rotten one. Soon enough, Heartthrob was the only pet young enough to reproduce, so I adopted Killer, her favorite mate. Together, they had to have the last 3 puppies I needed to fulfill the lifetime want. It took the longest time, and about 10 tries, but Heartthrob was finally expecting. Everyone rejoiced. Everybody moved. As the player, it was agonizing though. Waiting for a single dog to go into labor while I control the world's most deranged but boring man felt like a new torture method developed specifically for me. At this point, I was so over kittens and puppies, so over having single pregnancies and waiting for that window to pop up that you can only imagine how elated I was when I found out I not only had to get the 20 puppies and kittens, I also had to have them age up to adults, which I had not been doing. Pain, divine punishment, Sisyphus and his rock. I was dejected and humiliated, but I was not gonna let these stupid pets get the last word. I sent all my adult dogs away and adopted the puppies and kittens back from the adoption services, making sure to set it so it was their birthday. That way, I would own the pets as they transitioned to adulthood, therefore reaching the goal of the lifetime want while keeping my dignity. I felt like I had nothing more to lose in that moment. The damage was done and I was picking up the pieces. I could only have 6 pets at once, and it took 3 days to finally age everyone up. I sent them away as quickly as I took them in, finding no joy in keeping up appearances any longer. I did not love these pets. I did not care for these pets. They were all pawns for a cause, tools for a grim destiny. It was done. The lifetime want was fulfilled. But God, at what cost? I aged Brent back down, erased that time from his record. Eventually, I had him taken one of the weird fluffy-looking puppies that Incubator had with Caesar the wolf. They lived a happy, quiet life together, just the 2 of them, Brent and Fluffy. So, is it possible to fulfill the want? Of course it is. Even more so if you start while your sim is a teen and take your time up to when your sim is an elder. But are the moral consequences worth it? Nowhere in this challenge does it say that you need to love and care for these pets, just that you need to have had them. It requires you giving away pets to adoption. It requires you overbreeding your pets. It requires putting your life on hold. Brent had no friends. Even his family was being torn apart. I don't think I would want to do this, even with the promise of lifelong happiness. So I leave the choice to you.
Choose your own destiny.
Well, anyway, guys, I love you and I care about you. Please never do this. It is cruel. I did this so you didn't have to do it. Please never do it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.